use LinkedIn and social media if you're a lawyer? Well, I got the chance to interview Neil Greenbaum about how he uses LinkedIn and videos to help attract business and build up his brand. So this is a great video. There's tons of nuggets of information in this. So let's get right into it. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. This is the first of my interviews I'm going to do. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but this morning we have Neil Greenbaum. Am I saying your name right, Neil?
Yep, that's great.
Greenbaum. Anyhow, I have a few questions about social media for Neil, and we're going to get started with that. First, I want to say a little bit of a story about how I know Neil and how he got sort of into my network of people that I know. Before I do that, though, I got to make sure I can see LinkedIn comments, because for those of you that do or don't know, LinkedIn comments can't be seen through another product. So I'm using StreamYard to stream, and I can't see the comments. But now on my other screen, I got the comments up. All right, so here's how I know Neil. I don't know, it was probably 6 or 7 months ago. I sent a connection request to Neil, and he accepted it. And when he accepted it, he recorded a 20-second video that said something like, "Hey, Ryan, thanks for connecting. My name is Neil. I'm a lawyer, and I hope to get to know you a little bit better." And I remember looking at this thinking, wow, that was super nice that this guy I don't really know yet recorded a personalized video for me. It wasn't a stock video because he actually used my name in it. So I knew it was personalized, and so that's how I got to know him. And then I asked him a question. I said, "Hey, I run a blog, and occasionally I get contacted by advertisers or people that want to pay to put up a guest post." And I said, "I just do all this in my name. Should I set up an LLC?" So then Neil said, "Yeah, I'll make a video about this." So Neil made a video, and it was a short 1 minute, 2 minute video. And he said, "Yeah, if you're doing work for someone else, you should always set up an LLC to protect yourself."
Sorry about that.
And so within the next week, I registered and set up an LLC. So that's my story of how I know Neil and a little bit about that background. But anyhow, I wanted to introduce Neil and give a quick fast forward through some technical issues. There, I think you're back in.
Yeah, now I'm on the laptop. The phone I couldn't pick up your sound, but it's okay. Anyway, sorry.
Hey, that is fantastic. It's live, and this is what happens in the world of live video. Anyhow, I was mentioning how you sent me a video the very first time, and then you recorded the video about how do you create, or you should create, an LLC if you're doing work for someone else. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of a chance. Tell us about yourself, what you do. Just give us a little introduction.
So sure, I'm a transactional attorney. That means I don't go to court. It means I do mostly contracts and buying and selling, usually corporate stuff like LLCs, corporations, and commercial real estate. Most of my stuff is drafting contracts, if you're negotiating contracts. So that's what I do most of the time.
All right. And I have a little background to get. I don't know if you're still doing this. I don't think you are, but you used to post one video every single day.
Yeah, so I'm not doing it every day. I find, I mean, first of all, they're hard to do. It's a lot of work to do a video every day. So yeah. I try to do at least two. I post every day, and I try to do a video or two a week. I find it's interesting. I find engagement on videos, to me at least, is a lot less on LinkedIn. So I feel like if you don't post video, I did an experiment actually last week. I posted a really on point video about, COVID-19 and get business contracts and it was really like, it's timely, it's important. And I did a video and I got whatever X amount of views. And then about 2 hours later, I took the video off and I just reposted the post itself, and I got like 7 times as much engagement. So it was just, there's something about videos on LinkedIn. I just don't think they get the same engagement as they used to. I know there's an algorithm. I have nothing to do with it, but that's what I find.
I think I would agree with that, because I would have said 6 months ago, I thought the videos got a lot more engagement that they have recently. So it's interesting that somebody else has kind of noticed the same thing. I've noticed that text posts, especially when I ask a question, do a lot better.
Oh yeah. I used to exclusively, like you said, only do videos. So I didn't know anything else. But when I started doing both, I realized for certain at this point, posts do a lot better than videos. I'd say 3 to 5 times better.
Yeah. All right. And along with these videos that you made, you almost always wore a different t-shirt.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about where'd you get the daily video idea and where did the t-shirt thing come from?
So the daily video idea came last July 4th. Joe Applebaum, who's on LinkedIn, he has a lot of connections, a lot of followers. He did a 30 in 30 challenge to do 30 videos in 30 days. So I did that challenge and I kept it up afterwards. I've done probably like 150 videos. The t-shirt thing came because I'm an early riser and I would do the videos at like 5 in the morning and I wasn't going to dress up for them. So I just wore what I was wearing. And then over time, it just became like a thing. So I tend to be casual anyway. So I got more t-shirts and now I'm just casual all the time. So it works out.
How many different t-shirts did you get for this?
I probably have like 200 t-shirts. It's a lot. My wife is not a fan. Let's put it that way.
Oh, well, I appreciate them. So
no, thank you.
You can tell your wife. At least there's one guy on the internet.
Right.
It's my t-shirt collection. So, all right. Now I got 5 quick questions.
Go ahead.
Provide me some quick answers just to get to know you a little bit better. And if anybody is watching so they can know you. How many cups of coffee do you drink every week?
Before Corona, probably 2-3 a day. Since Corona, probably 5-6 a day. So just do the math. I'm drinking so much more coffee than usual. I don't know why.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But they're small cups. They're small cups.
Small cups. There we go. Small cups. All right. What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I don't have a favorite, but my favorite would be a steakhouse for sure.
All right. All right. When you read, are you an ebook person, a paper book, or you don't read any books?
Old school paper.
Paper book?
I have a Kindle. I had to recently like blow off the dust. I haven't used it like in 2 years. It's probably like a Kindle 1.0, you know, but now I like books and I have a bad habit. I go on Amazon, I buy books and then I don't get around to them for a while, but I hopefully during this time when we have more time, I'm not going anywhere. I'm in my house, you know, hopefully but I must have just around me like 15 books I have not read yet. I have to get to them. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's not a bad time to read a book. I just ordered a book from Amazon yesterday and there was a Kindle version and a regular paper book. And I said, I don't think I'll read the Kindle version. I kind of want to get off my phone. So
right. If you don't see, you know, Kindle, it's this big. So if you don't see the books, you're not going to read them. At least when I pass by the book, I go, oh, I got to read that book. It reminds me, I have to, not that I necessarily will read it or do read it, but I know I have to read it. If it's in the Kindle, I'm not going to see it.
And once I have a feeling once I get on a device, it gives me a notification. Somebody liked something on LinkedIn or tweeted something. And then,
boom, right.
And then all of a sudden I'm off my book for half an hour.
Right. Because everyone has such a short attention span now. It's like, you know, you look for the next thing.
All right. Next question. What career did you want when you were growing up?
Oh, wow. I would have loved to have been like a writer, like an author. I would have loved that. But that's a hard thing to ever break into. So it wasn't going to happen. So I went to law school instead.
Well, you can still write a book.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I wanted to be a professional football player, and that didn't quite work out for me.
You need some God-given size for that also. So you have to, you know, I don't know how tall you are or how big you are, but if you're like 5'8", 160, it's not going to happen.
I'm 6 foot tall, and back in my college days, I was 220 pounds, and I was a decent athlete. I was not NFL caliber, so I was a slight bit too small. Right, a little bit too slow, so I was a lot like the rest of the American population.
Right.
A little too small, a little too slow to be a professional football player.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. And last one. Don't think too deep about this one. What is something you are afraid of? I'm afraid of heights, so I'll throw that out there.
I'm afraid of confined spaces. Though it's funny, I fly like 100 times a year, and when I think about it, I go, oh, I'm in a tube, like hurtling through space. Okay, you know, whatever. You think about it, but like I don't like being confined. So, but I still managed to get on a plane. Not recently though.
That works. I one time in high school, I got in the trunk of someone's car and they closed the trunk and I freaked out. I was like,
right, I would freak out.
Yeah, I don't like this anymore. All right, back to the real questions. You use LinkedIn a lot.
Right.
And even as of late, you've still been posting pretty good stuff. Why do you use LinkedIn? Do you use other social networks? And how do you find it helpful in what you do in business? Or just tell me a little bit about why you use social media.
Okay, so I use LinkedIn because, I mean, the platform is supposed to be like, commerce, business-oriented platform. So I don't post anywhere else. I don't post to Facebook or Instagram. I opened an Instagram account like 2 months ago, and then I posted once. I'm like, okay, done. I just didn't get into it. I feel like the people on LinkedIn are probably geared towards business, and that's what I'm in. And rather than like posting pictures of your lunch, you're going to post some content that's actually relevant to something. I find that things like Facebook, Facebook's great for social, but I feel like LinkedIn is as far as law and business, which are the things that I'm most involved in, I think it's the best platform out there.
Yeah, I have an account on all the social media platforms pretty much, but I like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where I probably spend 90% of my social media time.
Me too. More maybe. Yeah.
I've also discovered I get more engagement from the things I want to talk about on LinkedIn than other places, but I like to talk about data science and business topics a little bit. So
okay. So the reason I like that I do post on LinkedIn, first of all, it's a great form of marketing, and it's free. It's not cheap because you have to spend time doing it. So there is a cost, but it's not an out-of-pocket cost. And I just find that it's a long game, but if you stick with it, I've been doing it since July 4th is when I started. I've been on LinkedIn for like 11 years, but I never used it for the first 10 years. So since July 4th, I've been very active, and I feel like if you stick with it, it works in terms of business or increasing your contacts, or you can even monetize it. I think the important thing about LinkedIn that many people have a problem doing, and sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. I try to be very clear about what it is that I do. I do like basically three things. I do contracts, business transactions, and commercial real estate transactions. And I try to be specific about what it is. But one of my contacts called me recently about a commercial lease. I'm like, well, did you have a lawyer look at it? No. I go, why don't you have me look at it? He goes, oh, I didn't know you did it. I'm like, then I'm either failing in my message or you're not just understanding what I'm doing. So I tell people, like, I know people with 10, 20, 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. I don't know what they do. I don't really know what they do. I know what they look like. I know their names. If I see their face, I can point them out of a crowd. Like, I don't know what they do. And if I don't know what they do, I can't refer them business or give them business or help them in any way. So I think it's important that if you're going to bother on LinkedIn, you should have a clear message. I think I posted about this a few weeks ago. Like, I called it the 5-second rule. Somebody has to be able to describe what you do in under 5 seconds. If they can't, then you have to focus on your message more. Because, like, if people think Neil Greenbaum, I want them to think, okay, business contract lawyer. Okay, great. Or if, but if you can't get that message across, and there are people, I think it's more amorphous. I'm not even sure what they do. I see them on LinkedIn all the time, but I don't really know what they do. So I think it's important to have your message focused when you do bother going on LinkedIn and marketing yourself.
Yeah, I'm probably one of those people. I'm not sure everybody knows what I do on LinkedIn. I'm not real great at that. So I think
you'd be better served. I think you'd be better served if you narrate it. I mean, I don't want you to limit yourself, but I'm just saying, like, come up with a 5-second thing. I do, and mention it in 5 seconds, and everyone should be able to do that.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice and information there. All right, next question. How is coronavirus, since I don't know if people watch this in the future, it's April 2nd, 2020, but how has coronavirus and all of this affected how you use social media and what you post out there?
Okay, so it affects it in that I find myself on LinkedIn more than I probably would be ordinarily. And it affects the posting because I feel I have to post about it. I think I put up, I mean, not scientific or medical posts, obviously, but like today also, I put up a post. Sorry, I put up a post about, you have more free time. You should be doing this, looking at your business documents, going over certain business things, looking at your employees stuff, etc. I feel like coronavirus is giving us a lot of time, especially if we're not commuting someplace. And I feel like when I post, I have to mention it because there are certain. I'd hate to look. I hope everyone should be safe and well, etc. Obviously, But I hate to look back at this, let's say 1, 2, 3 month period when you could have gotten a lot done. And like, I finished 18 shows on Netflix. Like, I don't think it's a good thing to look back on. So I try to tell people, like, you have some time, like maybe you should look at your business documents. Do they say what, I mean, this is what I do. So that's why I'm bringing this up. Do they say what you want them to say? Look at your employees. Like, who's a key employee? Do you have an employment agreement with them? Do you have operating agreements or shareholder agreements for your company? And now's the time to look at that, because you probably have a little more time than you usually would.
That's a great tip, and this is why I like what you've been posting recently on LinkedIn, all around how to do this stuff. And it's just interesting that you say, when we think about life in general, we always have things on our list that are like, when I get some extra free time, I'm going to sort through this pile of paper.
This is it. Like, this is your time. I don't think, hopefully it won't happen again, but like, I have nothing but time at this point. You know, it's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And it's turning out to be longer and more time than I think what originally.
Right. Now, I mean, now they said at least April 30th. So we got 28 days more of time. It's a long time to do.
And I think those are probably even conservative. So I live in South Dakota, and they told us they don't think it's going to peak here until July, I believe is what they said.
So I really live in Florida, but I go to New York a lot. And I'm actually, I'm in New York since March 4th. I've been here, and I'm not going back to Florida. And now I'm not traveling anywhere now. And it's here. It is here. I mean, it's in your face and scary. But I do leave the house at least once a day to do something, because I got to get out. But otherwise, I mean, I probably in South Dakota, it's more social distancing anyway, because it's a lot less dense. But it's, you know, here it's here and now. And right, if you don't get it till July, we're talking 5 months off. So we're talking a lot of time. So there's a lot you can accomplish in this time.
Yeah. Yeah. So in South Dakota, I try to get outside every day, but I walk around my block,
right?
Which is different than a block in New York City. There's, I don't know, 15 houses on my block.
Yeah, nobody's out anymore. Nobody's outside. That's the amazing thing. Like, nobody wants to go outside anymore. And I understand. I understand the fear, and I have the fear, but I feel like, you know, I have to get outside once in a while. But the whole point is, listen, you waited your whole life for time. You have time. There's nothing but time now. You want to learn a language, work on the business, practice piano, whatever it is, you got time to do it now. So you might as well use it.
Yeah. All right. One last question here. Actually, two, because before we get to my last question, let's answer this one. We got a question from Lee, and he was asking, do you track conversion rates of LinkedIn posts? And let's just go with this. Do you actually see actual business coming from the stuff you're posting on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I do. It took a lot. I'll tell you about LinkedIn. You can monetize LinkedIn depending on what you do, obviously. I'm a lawyer. I have monetized LinkedIn. It took a while. I knew it was a long game when I started. I didn't like post my first 10 videos and go, okay, where's my check? It took a long time. It took like 5-6 months to get, maybe 5 months to get one piece of business out of it. But since then, it's definitely gotten better. I think it's, like I said, it's important for people to know who you are. I'm going to tell you, this is a good LinkedIn story. So somebody posted about 6 weeks ago, I need a lawyer who drafts business contracts. And I didn't know the person. He was not a connection of mine. And 8 comments came up on that post. 2 were lawyers saying, oh, I'll do it, me. And 6 people said my name. 6 out of 8 comments said my name. That guy called me. I got in touch with him, and he's a client. And I made money off of it. And it never would have happened if I wasn't out there on LinkedIn all the time. 6 people wouldn't have known who I am. 6 out of 8 people on a post wouldn't have known who I am. And the people who mentioned me aren't people I knew before LinkedIn. So the point is, LinkedIn is definitely something you can monetize, but you have to be consistent and have a clear message, and people have to know what you do. Those are the important things, and be good at what you do.
Right. How much effort do you put into measuring how much time you're spending posting versus how many clients you're getting, or you just post and hope clients show up?
I post, and I always engage. If people engage, I engage back. I used to do a lot more engaging on other people's posts. Lately, I haven't been doing it. I probably should. Since I have time, like I said, I probably should do that now. I don't look at it as, well, this post worked, because I think different things speak to different people, and I don't know what it's going to be. So I just do it. And it's funny, during this Corona period, we'll call it, I've been posting more than once a day, but I always post like something like humorous, like in the afternoon, like a thought, like yesterday I posted, okay, what's it going to be today? Gray pajamas, gray sweatpants or blue sweatpants, something like that, So, and people, it's funny, like the stuff that I'm posting, I think is relevant, like legal, can help you, your business, that should be important. Like, it's getting good views and good engagement, but like the funny stuff is like off the charts because people want to see that nowadays. So, it's not really a business magnet, but at least it keeps people happy and it keeps them engaged with me.
That is true. And that's one of the reasons I want to talk to you, because I think you're doing a good job of posting stuff that's relevant, but more lighthearted, like the gray versus blue sweatpants.
Right.
It's kind of funny, but honestly, it's one of those things that's gone through everybody's mind. Like, do I get dressed for today or not? What did you decide on, the blue or the gray?
Gray. I have more gray than blue. I think that's why.
Yeah. Well, so I've worked from home a long time. And one of the pieces of advice I got from somebody once is they said, just make sure you're dressed up enough so that if someone comes to your door, you are not embarrassed to go to the door and answer it. And so that's kind of me. I usually put on clothes, but this is about as fancy dressed as I get. I put on
the good thing about being known for wearing t-shirts is that I can wear t-shirts and no one expects anything more than that at this point.
Yeah. All right. Last bit of information here before we wrap it up. Where can people connect with you and find more information about you?
Well, I'm at neilgreenbaumlaw.com, or they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Neil Greenbaum, or they can, I give free 15-minute phone calls to anybody who wants to talk. Just go to talktoneil.com and you can book one on Calendly.
Fantastic. Well, thanks a lot for taking some time to talk with me today, Neil. It was fun to actually meet you in person. I guess this is virtually in person,
right.
But have yourself a great rest of your day and a good week, and stay safe.
Thank you.
And I guess goodbye, and we'll talk to you later and see you on LinkedIn.
Thanks, Ryan. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.
Yep, goodbye.